though.
Rearrange streets paved in grit and grime, made in Compton where we redefine shine.
The package open, gotta free it in a hurry.
Hey.
Drop it in a seam, snap a pick and spit a bar flurry. The spinning racks need refill, but I'm really not worried.
Okay.
It's the most beautiful thing in the words of Keith Murray. Dipping out in a low-low and slow-mo tipping.
Woo.
Just one tap and it hops up like pogo sticking. This is not a put-together, like robo-chicken.
Wow.
Still original condition, number match, no parts missing.
Right.
Willowbrook and Alondra pull over right there. At the Made in Compton Store, I can get something to wear. For men, women, and children, all prices fair.
Thank you.
Got fresh top to bottom. And I slid up out of there, hops right back in the low-low looking like new money.
Sure do.
Stare all you want, but can't take none from me. Ain't none bouts this cute, sweet, nor funny.
Nope.
Outside in a low ride, rain, sleet, or sunny.
Cool.
The back window's still empty, ain't earned a plaque yet. Not a renegade rider. Hub City to set. Until next time, one thing you can bet. I'll be on my grind double time, pushing a line extra shine drips wet. And you ain't seen none yet.
That was incredible. Much respect.
I'd like to welcome everybody back to Bone with Friends. And thank you in advance for tuning in. Tonight, my special guest is Tata, returning again. Hey, Tata, how you doing?
What's up with you, Bone? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Man, how is it at the school? You know, learning new things.
Oh yeah, man. I guess I ain't been to school in a minute. In the beginning, it was kind of rough, but I was trying to balance it out, bro.
Absolutely. Man, you say you finna put a trade under your belt, huh? Locksmithing, huh?
Yeah. I'm thinking about looking into other things too, man. There's, I'm getting older. I'm just trying to find something, just trying to. I know I was talking to some of my coworkers and maintenance. They're like, "Yeah, man, go to school, get the paperwork, So I just been on that, just trying to do better, homie. Getting older, after a while, you want to retire and go fishing and chill. We at that level now, so
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Man,
I'm thinking
proud
on
of
that.
you, man. I salute you.
I
It's kind of
appreciate
hard
that.
for a cat our age to go back to school and pick up a new trade.
Yeah. I think what it was a good little push. I had little episodes at the job, and I always try to flip the negative, so that kind of pushed me to do better. It was little cold little episodes, but I try not to react on that level. I just try to be positive with it. So in a way, they did me a favor with the little, BS work related stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, so tell the viewers, man, what it was like for you growing up in Compton.
Oh man, compared to now, I'm thinking about it, seeing what these youngsters now. It was kind of simple and fun back in the day, man. Like, we didn't have no social media, nothing. You hanging out with your buddies, with the homies, or you be with, like with me, I was cool with everybody, so I was in different neighborhoods hanging out, and I just try to be a cool brother, man. I learned that from one of the other guys. He's always schooled me like, no, man, just be cool so you can get around and, meet females and stuff in different areas. So I was kind of like that, man, So I know a lot of our, what's funny, a lot of our classmates, they hit me up to my, yeah, you was like this and like that, But I forgot, I'm older now, and I don't even look at it. I just try to be on G level now and just trying to be a man and take care of my business,
Man, look, you always was a solid dude. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah, I
it's just
appreciate
you.
that.
I mean, that was the natural you, just solid.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely. Hey, so what neighborhoods you grew up in?
Let me see. Well, I grew up in Chattanooga, and then my younger days, I was young, like third grade, fourth, fifth, whatever. I stayed in Looters for a minute, and as I got older, I was hanging around with all them too. I was just cool. I guess my uncle's like, hell no, then he just snatched me back to me back. I would, I was young, so I wasn't really on that. I had my buddies over there, just being a regular boy, playing football on the street, basketball, we hanging out, watching wrestling, and back then before it is now, but we had WWF and WCW, so we
Yeah.
watching both, and just being a regular, young man, just having fun with your buddies, the girls on the street, just being a kid, having fun, man.
Yeah.
And then once I got older, then I moved back to the neighborhood. That's when I jumped off the porch.
Absolutely. And look, we know exactly what you mean by the term jumping off the porch. That's when you start hanging with
Yeah,
the homies.
yeah. Real talk. I remember that when I was a teenager, I'm rolling around with my beach cruiser, rolling around the neighborhood. And homie, what you doing? I said, I'm patrolling the hood. I'm a kid. I ain't, I'm seeing I'm seeing who in the neighborhood. I was on
Yeah.
that. This is good old days. Because,
Man.
back then we came from the shoulders. It wasn't no, it'd be gunplay later, but it was straight from the shoulders all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, so how long have you been working at the school that you at?
Well, the school I'm at now been 3 years, but with the district, it's been 7. So in May, it'll be 10 years I've been with the district.
Oh man, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What's the most exciting part about your daily routine? Do the kids seem
Well,
like to be excited to see you?
oh man, it's lovely, man. Like, them kids make my day. Like, what's funny about it? Those 7 years I was at the middle school. Now I'm at the high school. Half of those kids are at the high school, so I watched them all grow up, and I know their families. And some of the kids I saw as a little kid, I see them all grown now. Make me feel like a proud parent. And they come up to
Absolutely.
me, ask me how I'm doing. And I know there's a couple of students I really know real closely, like when I was going through the little work related stuff. And they were like, "You, Mr. Gary, you okay?" And I knew okay, I gotta have my function better, because I'm glad they appreciate me, like compared to all my coworkers. I think I'm the main one that they really admire. Like if I come to work, they all say hi to me every day, or just dap me up, or if I ask them how's school going. It's just little things, because that's what they all told me. Like, what we like about you is that, you don't fuss at us, you talk to us. And I treat them like my kids. What's funny about it, my daughter, she graduated from Downey High back in 22. She's an avid tutor now, and she be up there with the kids too. So it's a trip. And I see how I pass it on to her, because she be saying my kids too now.
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, because she also, yeah, she graduated college this May. So I'm happy about that. That kind of motivated me to go to school too. So I had
Mm.
little episodes with her, but I was happy to where I was able to step in and do what I needed to do for her while she was in school. That, even her family, like, you gotta call your dad, and I did what I had to do, get her a little car or something, and I make sure she maintained and she working and going to school. And when she had a little issue, she'd call me, especially with the job. If she had issues, I tell her how to deal with it. That's why I be in it. I know you older now. I said, I'll let you deal with it, but if it get out of your hands, I'm gonna step in.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times she been handling everything. She just called me. I just school her on things. I let her know what I went through in the beginning when she was in school. And she like, dang, Dad, you did. I said, yeah, it was for you. I had to suck it up. But now I can tell since everybody else retired, I'm the older dude now, and I know it's how my coworkers coming to me. And in my mindset, I just try to come in, do my job, and you know how we say, take our black ass home.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so how do you build trust and the connection like you build with the students?
I mean, you know what, man? I had to think about it. So I could tell I'm older now compared to back then. Some kids don't know they helped me out, man, because as adults or co-workers and different people you work with, they don't have the same mindset. Most of them be negative, have attitudes. But on the real though, like I always have everybody laughing. I said the kids keep me sane, trying to slap nobody up.
So keep you grounded and keep you on your A game, huh?
Yeah, 'cause I know how they look at me, and I know how I talk to them. Like they have little issues with their teacher or whatever, and even with the black kids, I'm able to school them on how to deal with certain situations. 'Cause I know they look at them. You know how it is working out there, and I said, should they look at me too? And they were shocked when I say that. I said, but it is a stereotype, like how they said, like I'm a cool black dude from Compton.
Hey, we're gonna go to a commercial break, man, and we're gonna be right back.
All right.
Gets out of the military and just does the bare minimum. I would have been a statistic.
1, 2, 3.
Got me in my feelings.
Hey, Tata, what's one of the moments that you shared with a student that really touched your heart?
Man, it's quite a few, bro. Well, I know there's one student. I'll start off the first one. So when I first started working at the middle school, I met this one young lady, and I could tell she was really uncomfortable. You know how young ladies be. And what was funny about it, my daughter started to go to school there. They became real close. Then after a while, she started reaching out to me, and she went through a lot. And I remember one day I was working, and she was already at the high school. So she always come by and check in with the counselor because she went through a lot with her family. I won't get into details, but anyway, the lead called me on the radio to somebody want to see you. I'm like, what? Well, my lead is cool, so I went by there, and I'm talking to her, and she was telling me about her family situation. And all I could tell her was, you're a good young lady. I said, just break the cycle. I said, just keep doing what you're doing, staying out the way. And even my daughter shared me with her too. Whenever she had issues, she'd be like, Dad, you got to talk to her, like when I'm picking her up or whatever. And I could tell she's doing better now. She going to school for EMT. and I always reach out to her to check in with her. And but and another one was man, it's quite a few, bro. So another one is one young lady. She was real emotional, and I guess she was only comfortable with me, so I always talk to her. That's why I'm glad I'm a girl dad, so I understood what they was talking about because I went through that with my daughter, growing up and the changes in their life, and I was able to be there for her. There's another young man, he went through issues, and I was trying to talk to him like for example, I know he grew up in LA, so he trying to clown, trying to sag, and I had to put him to the side, like, bro, you can't be doing that, man. I said, you out here, that's all they're gonna do is look at you. And what was cool about it, the principal and the dean, like, yeah, go you talk to him, whenever they had new kids come in, especially if they're black, they want me to talk to them, and someone listens, some won't, and I had to learn that part too. But the ones who listen, they doing good. So I think that was another part I had to learn. Like a lot of them had that hard head, but the ones who really reached out to me, they would, they'd be like for example, say if I take off a few days, I come back like, where you was at? All the kids jamming me up, but and I think a lot of the kids told me too. The ones who's older now, or even the ones who come in college now, they'll stop by. All of them say the same thing. The reason why, we crazy about you because you listen to us, you don't fuss at us, and you talk to us like, you a cool guy, but you like a cool uncle, cool. Most of them say cool dad.
Yeah,
That would kill me, especially with the Spanish kid. They be like, one young man told me, I wish I was his dad. I was like, wow.
man,
And I guess
that's
they
an
saw
honor
how
right there.
yeah, and they saw how I was with Jasmine when she was my daughter when she was going to school there, and how we communicated. And the funny thing about that was I used to ask her like, "You feel uncomfortable with me working there?" She said, "Oh no, Dad. They say all the kids say you cool. I don't know you just my dad, but you know how our kids be." But
Yeah,
after a while, she really caught on to it, and but I think she recognized the impact I have too, and I could tell it went on to her because she avid tutor there sometimes, and I noticed how she talk about students and how the kids be with her now.
yeah. And the younger generation now, I see when they be reaching out to us, they call us unc or pop. You know what I mean? And I used to be like kind of offended, like, man, I ain't that old. But then
Yeah,
now I'm gonna transition into that's how they crying out for a little guidance.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think what it was, I was the same way, but my older uncle, we always be talking here and there, and he told me one day, like, man, it's your turn. I passed the torch to you, like how I was on you. It's your turn, and you already know they call you unc. OG, something like that. Most of the boys, they all call me Unc or OG. And if they doing a little something, I just look at them like, man, what you doing? They're like, my bad, OG. So I like, no, man, I want to guide you in the right direction. I said, you gotta come to school and get you in a good area. I said, don't be trying to look at them YouTube trying to be a gang banging. I said, and ain't all that. I said, this is education. Like old boy said, game bang these books. He
man,
get you to
that part.
college or something. Yeah. Because they got a lot of resources for these kids, man. And a lot of me and my coworkers, like, what's cool about it, like the principal, vice principal, the security, a lot of kids, they ask me, like, do you know this student? I'm like, yeah, like, can you holler at them? And I talk to them and they be smiling. Like you said, take a village. And I've been there for like 3 years, so I see respect I get when I come in. It makes my day.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, it feel good to be valued, man, especially amongst the youth.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, so how do you keep balancing, keeping the schools clean and keeping it positive for the kids?
Man, some days it be hard, man. Because they be doing some crazy stuff, bro.
Man, I
But
only imagine high school kids.
yeah, man. And what's funny about it, you know how our kids be. They think you born at this age, and I'm saying to myself like, man, stuff y'all doing, I did better than y'all.
Yeah.
Trying to ditch and go in the bathroom. You know how we, go in the bathroom, do your thing. I said, we did it better.
Absolutely.
But no, in a way, I kind of flip it though. Like some days I might have a long day. Cause like I said, when I first started school a few months back, bro, it was challenging, man. I know them days I came to visit y'all. I'm getting out of school, getting my cut. So I'm in the city. I said, let me go, holler at everybody. But it was a challenge, man. I was just drained out, mentally drained. Some days I had to really just take off just to keep my mental straight. So I won't react to the BS because I see a lot and I'd be like, wow. So I think with that time being off, I was able to really balance myself. And I realized at school, like a little bit more I needed to learn. But the instructor, he's real cool. He's like, no, man, we got that break. When you come back, we're going to get you right. So that's why I told him, I said, I respect you. And I said, I appreciate you, and just having that balance, bro. That's all. I'm glad I recognize when I'm getting tired of my mental, I try to tone it down and try to be to myself and then trying to balance him out. Cause, you know, excuse me, some days, to be on the real, you'll be bothered, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah. It be like that.
Yeah. And I can tell I'm getting older now and I don't got no time for the foolishness.
Hey,
I think I'm embracing it now, like that older level. Like, how back in the days when we was younger, like the late 20s, 30s, that was beautiful. But now, you older, you gotta watch your health, going to make sure you go to the doctor, dentist and all that, and just trying to maintain your health, bro. Then try not to focus on the nonsense. I try to stay away from that.
do some days you be having a bad day and the kids brighten your mood?
Oh man, it'd be quite a few days like that, man. Cause I kind of work burnt out. My coworkers be like, "Man, you okay?" Cause they all say I bring the day. I come in like, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" All that. And other day I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm ready to knock this shit out." So a lot of times, if I see the kids, they be like, they come up to me like, "What's up, OG? What's up, Unc? You good? You good?" Like this one student, he called me. He'll hit me up. He got my number. Like, you good, man? You good? I said, yeah, I'm cool, man. It's been kind of rough. He said, I got you, man. He always called me though, man. It's a trip. This
Man,
check in.
hey, these kids can be blunt and honest. What's one of the funniest things one of these kids has said to you?
Uh, it's quite a few. So the first one was that I worked at the middle school. I think dude was like in the sixth, seventh, eighth grade. I forgot. So they had their picture day. So I had to set up everything. So I'm going by on the card. He in line, and our gym teacher out there, he had him in line, whatever, so they can take their picture. So I'm going by, everybody saying, "Hey, Mr. Gary," and all that. So the little man gonna bust out, "Hey, Mr. Gary, I fucks with you." I said, "Hold on." Because the gym teacher looked dead at me. They want to make
Yeah,
sure I correct him. And I said, "No, man, I appreciate that, but you gotta watch your mouth, buddy." You know.
yeah.
And I got to catch a lot of them like that. I know we was the same way, but I know I got to be that adult figure. I can't let them get away with that.
Absolutely.
And I think, and then another one, one of the main kids. I know I'm on the phone talking to my coworker, and he was going through some stuff. So I'm schooling him, and wasn't nobody in the hallway. So I'm able to really talk. I said, yeah, man, fuck them motherfucker. You know, I'm just going. And then she walked by like, yes, man, I'm talking about. I said, hold on. I said, no. You know, she heard me just trying to school him and, you know, this clowning to help him get through his day because we just started. Because, you know, I think during that time frame, it was a lot of changes and everybody was adapting to it. And, you know, everybody was calling everyone. But it made me feel good to where, you know, everybody was hitting me up, trying to ask me advice. And I'm trying to school them on how to deal with certain situations, you know, especially I've been there for a minute and I kind of see, you know, what's going on with everything. And I just try to, I try to be focused, just go in and do what I need to do and try not to be involved in the job related part, you know, on the job politics. I'm trying to get involved in that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to go to another commercial break and we'll be right back after these messages.
All right.
Oh, this is like music to my ears. Compton in the box. Yes, Compton in the box comes in basic, custom, and deluxe. Come on now. Basic, 132 value for only $39.99. Come on now, stand on business. This is a great deal. I can't shake it. You see me? Imagine 4 shirts or 4 hats, $39.99 plus tax and shipping if you live out of state, you know. And just imagine all of the combinations, all of the t-shirts. Yes, if you need to call, you need to get your box built, custom and deluxe, all right. If you're calling for basic, just know that we're going to send you scared t-shirts.
Hey, it's Teddy G, your friendly neighborhood bear from the Made in Compton store, here to spread love and good vibes.
Shout out to the LA Hood Life Tours. Yes, discover Compton like never before. Whether you're a local or visiting from across the globe, LA Hood Life Tours takes you on an unforgettable journey through the real streets of Compton. Hear stories from tour guides who have lived, worked, and thrived here. Voices of the community, and experience the culture, history, and energy that only the iconic city of Compton offers. The adventure doesn't end there. Your ride leads straight to the Made in Compton store, where exclusive souvenirs, apparel, and local treasures let you take a piece of Compton home. From the streets to the store, this is a treasure chest of authentic clothing, accessories, and services in the iconic city of Compton. Shout out to the team at LA Hood Life Tours for making every tour a genuine, one-of-a-kind experience. Shop 24/7, micpt.com at the Made in Compton store, and definitely book your tour today with the LA Hood Life Tours that can be found online, on the website, and on IG for your convenience.
That means your rate stays locked, your box keeps evolving, and your support builds the culture. Legacy doesn't wait. It begins now. Join at mitpt.com before December 31st. Compton in a box, made in Compton Store. Yes, if you need any assistance, stop by the store at 906 South Willowbrook Avenue, Unit B, Compton, California, 90220. The cross streets are Alondra and Willowbrook in the same parking lot as Bunny's Liquor. Order your Compton in a box today.
Yeah, man. I was having a little technical difficulties, but
It's all good. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, you got it.
yeah. So, what changes have you seen in the community and in the school since when we was kids?
You talking about Compton High?
Yeah.
Phew. I guess ever since Dre helped build that new school, seems like the kids are driving more, and as far as sports and education, they got a lot of better resources now too. They're doing great.
Nice.
I ain't really been up there. I haven't really been up there like that. But I've been hearing, and I've been seeing online on their resource they have with education, and I see how the kids are doing up there. So I'm happy. I'm happy for the High.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Dre. You made that happen, man. Power play.
Real tough. Real tough. But I went for him to paint the school blue and white. I mean, white and blue though.
Hey, look, we're gonna be waiting on that, and we're gonna be waiting on that black tar bag.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was a trip. Everybody was commenting on that. All I could do was shake my head, like, wow, it is what it is, though. Whole new era.
Hey, so how do you create a safe environment for the kids?
As far as that, we just try to do our best to make everything clean and safe, and try to work together with security and that, make sure the right people come on campus, or make sure the gates are closed. We have so much stuff going on at the high school, and we had a little incident that happened, and police came out, and they locked it down. The people left. They let us leave early too, but it'll be just try to work together as a team, and it's trying to it ain't that bad though, bro. Man, I can see being at the high, but they don't know how good they got it out there. But
Hey, tell me, have you ever met any students that remind you of yourself?
let me see. Yeah, two. Yeah, one with the ladies and one the banging day.
Yeah. Hey, so how did it feel when the kids treat you like a mentor?
Oh, it made me feel good. It makes me, it makes my day, bro. Like, I didn't really know how much of an impact I had. And then once, like I said, I might have a long day or something. Like I said, the kids build my day up. They holler at me and just come up to me, talking to me, and ask me how I'm doing, how my day going. And they ain't knowing I just got there, but they thinking I just started already. Cause what be funny, they be like, "What time you get up?" I said 11. 11. I said, "That ain't nothing," but I forgot the kids. Yeah, they're like I'm leaving now. But that was funny through the years when they say 11 o'clock at night. I said, "Yeah." But I think since I got to the high school, a lot of the kids be having events and they stay over. So, I'll be helping my coworker out. So the area I be on towards the end, I help him close the gate because I did his position and he can have it. But anyway, so I help them close the gate. So a lot of times kids be hanging out waiting for their parents. So I sit there with them and the parents be like, "Oh, thanks for sitting with my kids." We be, to shoot the shit, whatever. And then I'm like, "Man, I'm trying to go home, wait for them to leave, so I close these gates up." But no, I just try to, I just try to make my job fun, bro. I try not to take it too serious. A lot of my coworkers, they coming in all mean and I can't do that, man.
Yeah.
So we there 8 hours, 40 hours a week. I can't. I got to at least flip something.
What type of advice do you naturally give kids that open up to you?
I just tell them to stay positive. It depends on what they going through. In a way, man, it's kind of sad. See, some of these kids go through a lot. It's sad, bro. And I just try to do the best I can. I think I think in the beginning it kind of carried over to my daughter, to where a lot of stuff I was seeing and what I was hearing, I was letting her know how blessed she is, to where she can come to me with stuff. And a lot of times, a lot of these kids not really comfortable to talk to their parents, and I recognize that difference. Like I see how I'm that adult male figure that they can go to for that guidance, to where their parents are at work and whatever. And but nothing against them, but I'm just saying, I see how they reach out to me with some personal stuff, and I've been like, wow, So I just try to do the best I can, but I had to learn through the years. We do training each year. I can't go over no toes. It was out of my control. I got to, go to the counselor, the principal, whatever. But luckily, it had been a little small, little, but not that major. There's regular teenage, stuff, especially now with social media and everything. It's a lot different compared to us. Back then, it was simple with us when we was kids, But now it's different peer pressure. Like, to be real with you, man, where I work at is kind of like them Disney kids, them little shows that our kids used to watch back in the day, like Hannah Montana, them little twin little boys. I just call them little happy kid. They deal with the little happy.
Say like Saved by the Bell, huh? What improvements do you see that we need in the schools with both the staff and the students?
My bad. Somebody called me. I had to come. I hit them back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
What improvements do you think we need with the kids in the schools?
Hold So what you were saying?
What improvements do you think we need with the in the schools and with the kids?
Well, where I'm at or at Compton?
Just in
Well,
general,
period.
like where you at? Yeah.
Just more communication, man. They got the resources and they got them in, have them in sports, and they do a great job. It's just the communication, man. I think a lot of them who work there, they look at it as they just getting a paycheck. They don't really communicate like to the students. I think it's like a handful of us who really reach out. It's a lot of different factors, but I think the main thing is communication.
Yeah. So just more programs where you can sit and have one-on-ones.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I remember back then when they had COVID, they got this wellness center. And I remember this one lady, she had it covered. She did a great job with it, but unfortunately they let her go. I think it was just hate because she really communicated with some of the students, and it's just a lot of politics, bro. It's kind of hard to really and like I said, I saw a lot, the good and the bad. So with the bad, I try to flip it. It's sad, but it is what it is.
What's one of the biggest challenges in your job that people don't realize?
Um, just dealing with what the kids be doing, like how they damage certain things or how they mess up certain areas, and we need to take care of it. And like some days I'd be like, "Wow, what the hell are you doing?" But I think what I'm learning now is that they try to react to that, trying to show their peers like, I'm cool. Let me do this mess. I think that's what it is. I be trying to put my finger on it, like, what the hell? I take pictures of the area, let my lead know, and so they'll be aware. But it's always something different every day. I don't know. I think they just try to show they tough or whatever. I don't know. This
Yeah,
little
just
teenage.
acting out, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you have a favorite memory of a school event or activity?
I mean, I had quite a few, bro. Let me see. Let me see the best one. Yeah, so I think it was a few years back. So I guess one teacher, she had like asked staff to if they want to answer questions, so you had to go online. They'll send you an email, what do the job, and you get into it. So I said, I'll try it out. So mind you, it was me, principal, vice principal, teachers. So I guess they said they had bobbleheads and they had my head and all the other ones. So they said whenever they raised my head, the kids was going crazy. And then when I came to work that day, everybody looking at me smiling. I said, what's going on? They're like, yeah, boy, we had that assembly. You should have been here. I said, what's happening? I said, whenever they said your name, the kids are chanting your name, and it was funny. It was kind of a trip.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about it, I was at the middle school at the time, so the eighth grade group was the main one, but now they're seniors this year, and it's good to see them all, that's like my favorite group because unfortunately that year it was a good and a bad thing. Like I always tell them, like my daughter's about to graduate high school, but earlier that year my dad passed away, and they kind of helped me get through it,
Man, sorry to hear about that, man. I
Yeah,
already know how
thanks,
tough
bro.
it is to lose your father, man. When I lost
Yeah,
my
yeah.
pops, man, I didn't even want to live no more.
hmm And in a way, it was all good with that. I was able to reconnect with my family on his side, so I still communicate with my cousins and my auntie, and we check on each other here and there, and I able to see my little, talk to my little cousins too. So in a way, it was a good and a bad thing, you know.
They brought the
And
family together.
yeah, and they was able to school me on some stuff too, you know, about the fam that I didn't really know about, you know, that I really sit back like, okay, now I know what's up, you know. But it was good timing because I was mature enough to really understand the bad of it too. At least I know what's up, you know. And my daughter was able to, meet her family too.
Absolutely. Man, some good came out of that.
Yes. Yep.
Do you have or what would you tell the parents one thing about the kids that you see the kids doing on the daily that you would want them to know?
I've been calling you. I know I'm on the phone. Oh, okay, take you right. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Well, I do that now, man. Like it's funny to where some of his parents I know really well, they be like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Gary," you know. But I tell them the little goofy stuff they do, but that's my job description, so I don't really be tripping off of it, you know. I just try to come in and take care of my area. I like, okay, I'm through for the day, and then I just do what I need to do because I know a lot of my coworkers are worse. You know, that a lot of the union and bigger they tell me all y'all do is complain. I say, I don't complain, fool. I come and do my work. You know, it
Yeah,
just man, it's kind of hard. You know how we chat, man. It just work related stuff, bro. You know, we see a lot though. I see a lot. I'm like, it is what it is. I just try to get it done and move to the next thing and take my lunch, finish up, and just go to the house.
absolutely.
Try to get that check, dog. I pay these bills.
We're gonna go to another commercial break, and I got like 2 more questions I want to ask you when we come back.
All right, for sure.
All right.
Shout out to the LA Hood Life Tours. Yes, discover Compton like never before. Whether you're a local or visiting from across the globe, LA Hood Life Tours takes you on an unforgettable journey through the real streets of Compton. Hear stories from tour guides who have lived, worked, and thrived here. Voices of the community and experience the culture, history, and energy that only the iconic city of Compton offers. The adventure doesn't end there. Your ride leads straight to the Made in Compton store, where exclusive souvenirs, apparel, and local treasures let you take a piece of Compton home. From the streets to the store, this is a treasure chest of authentic clothing, accessories, and services in the iconic city of Compton. Shout out to the team at LA Hood Life Tours for making every tour a genuine, one-of-a-kind experience. Shop 24/7, MICPT.com, at the Made in Compton store, and definitely book your tour today with the LA Hood Life Tours that can be found online, on website, and on IG for your convenience.
All right.
Hey, so what legacy you want them to remember Mr. Gary for at the school?
I'm this cool, hard-working brother, man. That's all. You know, I just keep it simple. I'm humble. I just try to stay out the way. Try not to get into politics stuff. You know, like you know how it is. Work coworkers be bumping heads. I don't try to get involved in that. I try to resolve it, man. You know, so I try not. Just like that. You know, I think most of them look at me anyway, like you cool. I wish you my uncle, my dad, stuff like that. So that makes my day, bro.
Like they say, it take a village to raise them.
Real talk, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with the final thought, man. It's an honor and a pleasure again having you. And
Oh yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
thank everybody for tuning in. And The verse for the day is Psalms 46, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
God is our refuge and strength, the very presence, help in trouble. The short story is Marcus had been carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Bills were piling up. Hours was getting cut at his job. With no answers in sight, one night he finally sat on the edge of his bed and whispered, Lord, I need help. In the quiet moment, he felt calm drop over him like a warm blanket. Nothing in the situation changed instantly, but his heart changed. And I just like to say, you know, sometimes it get rough, but we just got to keep going and trust in the Lord and know that everything's going to come out all right. So thanks
That's
again
real.
for tuning in to Bone with Friends. And thank you again, Tata. If you want to let them know how to find you on Instagram and Facebook, go ahead and tell them your handles.
Well, you know, it's that is Jeremiah Gary. You know, I really don't be posting that much. I just check in and see how everybody doing. And I have Instagram. You know, yeah. So I just try to check on my family and my friends. Only time I really post up is like special events, like my daughter gonna graduate this year. I just been trying to just tend to my business, and I was right on time with that scripture because I was going through that, and I think the little time I had, I was ready to sit back, and God was able to talk to me to keep going and see certain things. So that was right on time, bro.
Man. I like to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody and don't eat too much of that gobble, gobble, gobble.
Oh yeah, I give me my jump streak. I'm straight.
Yeah. All right, Tata, I love you, man. And
I love
like
you too,
we
homie.
say in 2 shakes, peace.
Peace out.
Compton.